Hello Facebook, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube later, hello on YouTube. I am Chris Pickard, Director of Body Imbalance in Hertfordshire, and today is the day before World No Tobacco Day. So today I'm going to go through ways to help you quit smoking for good, so that you can maybe at least join in for one day tomorrow of no smoking. So what can you actually do to actually quit this beast once and for all? I'm going to go through the 5 different steps, 5 different strategies that you can use. But first of all, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about vaping. Now, hello everyone. Who have we got here? We've got hello Tom, hello Glenn, hello Curly, and hello Lisa in the United States. So, smoking. There you go. Cigarettes clearly kill if they spear you through the heart. But you may have seen a lot of smoke like this from people vaping. Now, vaping is now kind of a way for people to get off of cigarettes, but so many people get off of the cigarettes and they stay on vaping. Now, although the evidence at the moment is showing that vaping is safer than cigarettes, vaping itself is still linked with many health risks like cancer, depression, and also because it seems to be full of toxic heavy metals, it's again going to cause devastating effects on the cardiovascular system, and those big plumes of smoke, they're not just nicotine vapour. If it was just nicotine vapour, we'd probably be okay, because natural nicotine really isn't too bad. It's all the other stuff in cigarettes, and the same with, I should imagine, the vapour from vapes, full of heavy metals, toxic, carcinogenic, not good for anybody around. I see some people are having a problem with video and no sound. Let me just check and see if there are some other problems. Yep. Looks like it's working. Okay. Yep, it seems to be working my end. So anyway, back to the show. How to quit smoking and vaping. I'm not saying if you're vaping you should go back to cigarettes. That's probably a really bad idea. But what I do recommend to everyone who wants to quit smoking and they're on cigarettes, don't just switch to vaping. Yes, it could be an instant hit on improving your health, but then it's just one more thing. I'd just say let's just stop smoking altogether. So where do we start? Now, the place that most people seem to start, or they think of, is they think of hypnotherapy. Think about changing what's happening in the mind. Now, this is, of course, really important. And there are many triggers. There are many ways to employ psychological triggers and psychological techniques to try and help you break the habit. And yes, hypnotherapy can be really powerful. But what I really like to use is I like to use something called the brain tap, because this works much more deeply than hypnotherapy. It works on actually changing your brain waves. And when people sign up for a course of the smoking cessation with the brain tap here, we also give them a 30-day free trial so they can listen and use this stuff at home as well. And 30 days is a really good span in which to really change how your brain works. So yes, we use hypnotherapy and mental techniques or psychological tactics. But then there's also exercise. Exercise improves dopamine in the brain, and dopamine is basically your most pleasurable chemical that your body makes, and it's one of the reasons why people have addictions, is because they're trying to make and secrete dopamine. So exercise does that. So there are little exercises you can do to help you beat the cigarette habit. So if you fancy a cigarette, there are some simple exercises you can actually do. Deep breathing helps this as well. Then we have something that people don't tend to think about, which is detoxification. Now, cigarettes and vaping, full of all kinds of chemicals that disrupt your brain and your nervous system. And even when you stop smoking, they're still going to be in there, or when you smoke less. So it can actually speed up the process of actually going through a detox. And I'm not talking about some kind of medical detox. I'm talking about simply improving your nutritional intake, looking at some other areas of your life to decrease toxic input and ways to actually get toxins out of your body, because as you get rid of toxins, you'll respond more to the hormones you are making, like the dopamine that you are making. And there's another chemical called GABA, which calms you down. So you become more sensitive to your own hormones, your own feel-good chemicals. And the next thing is to actually support you nutritionally to actually buffer the effects of a nicotine withdrawal. The main one is niacinamide, which is an artificial form of vitamin B3. Vitamin B3 is niacin, and it causes a bit of a flush, and it can help improve your mood, but niacinamide doesn't produce the flush, and it's much better at getting huge amounts into the brain to help decrease the cravings and the depression that might happen from a lack of nicotine as you're trying to decrease it. And then you have developing the pleasure reward centers. So not just looking at the nutrition and the chemicals, but actually doing things that stimulate the pleasure reward centers. Now, the main pleasure reward centers are in the frontal lobes of the brain, I believe. But there's also pleasure reward centers at every single level of your spine. So it means if your spine is stiff and not moving, and the only way you're going to know that is if you get checked by a chiropractor like Brian Bamberger, if your spine isn't moving, you won't be stimulating the pleasure reward centers naturally. Exercise, again, will do this, but if your spine is stiff, you're not going to get the full effect. So another way to help you quit smoking is to have your spine looked after. So if you do all these 5 things together, okay, so if you look after how you think, so if you start thinking right, getting some hypnotherapy, if you look at detoxification, nutrition as well, exercise, move right, and spinal hygiene, getting your spine checked, you're going to provide a huge good impact of different habits into your body. So it's going to stop you feeling so bored when you're thinking, oh no, I need a cigarette. You're going to have so many different things to do. So we have a month-long program to help you kick the habit. Now, if you're local, we can do the full program. If you're not local, then we drop some of the strategies that you'd have to get here for. We have a month-long program. If you're interested, or if you know someone who's smoking and you'd like them to smoke less, then please send them this video. Get them to pick up the phone and ring 01 707 662 704 or PM me, and we'll have a free session. It takes about 15 minutes to find out whether or not I think you or your friend or your family member are right for the program that we have. So thank you, spread the word. Remember, tomorrow is worldwide No Tobacco Day. And later on in the year, there's actually a no smoking week or month. So we'll be back with more. Be well and prosper and let your lungs grow back.